stupid o'clock in the morning. And what could possibly get us up so early to join the queue for a bush toilet? Well, hot air balloons, of course.
Right.
Yeah, they were out grazing a few hippos.
And the jackal.
And a jackal and a hyena.
Oh, we missed that. We
You came the scenic route then.
yeah.
Well, depends who's crossing the road.
And the bunnies.
Oh, bunnies.
Oh, we saw one of those. That was it.
So where are you guys from?
The UK, and we've been here how long now?
Here,
Yeah.
just over a week.
I was going to say, you were going to say, about 15 minutes. Yeah,
About a
we've been
week.
here about a week. Yeah.
Yeah, we came in last Sunday. Yeah, almost a week.
So I guess you had a very long flight. Yeah. It was 30 hours or something.
Bad enough.
Yeah.
We thought if you're coming from the States or the Canada,
Vancouver.
it's
And it's so the far side over
Oh,
there,
the wrong-
Vancouver to Toronto.
Okay.
Toronto to Dark. I mean,
Has it been worth it?
yes.
Oh, that's okay
Yes.
then.
And the flight was okay. I was dreading it. It was okay. Going home is long again, but it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we deserve some champagne, okay, for all of us. And everywhere you go after the balloon flight, you will have to have champagne for a celebration. Very nice. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is, so we deserve it. But I think it's very important you know exactly why we are having champagne after the balloon flight. It did not start as a celebration. This was, it was a peace offering to the landowner. In case you don't know, ballooning came up first before helicopter and before planes. So it was not an easy task in the early days when they were doing a test flight. Finally, they end up fighting with these landowners and yeah, so it was not good. So champagne was to overcome the situation, all right? Do you have any idea of where the name pilot came from? Do you have any idea? No, okay, the whole story will give you the idea then. It started by these two French brothers by the name of Montgolfier. So they named it. If you see a hot air balloon, if you say Montgolfier, it means hot air balloon. So they named it from these two brothers. And how they get the idea, their father owned a paper factory. So they were sitting outside the factory and their daily job was to try to help their father to burn some waste papers. So one day they see this piece of papers rising up on the sky. They didn't know that the hot air was attempting to rise. They thought the smoke has a magic to big trees. So they ran back to the factory, they collected a lot of papers, they glued them together and made a huge bag. They put that bag upside down. Underneath it, they attached the cage. In the middle of the cage, they made a fire and they started throwing anything that can produce the smoke. And the plan was, as soon as they start leaving the ground, they can jump into it and see if they can go to the sky. But they were smart enough to realize, do we have enough oxygen? We don't know. So they took some animals instead. Put a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. 3 different kinds of animals because they wanted to see which altitude which animal will die without oxygen. since the sheep stays on the ground and the other bird flying but not very high and the other one goes higher. So they wanted to see. He went up, landed in the countryside. They were live, but the local people were not happy. When they came running, they destroyed the balloon and they killed the animal. So the brothers were very much disappointed, but they went politely around asking the local people, what did you do and what did you see? They said, well, we have to tell you the truth. The animals came down alive and the balloon was in one piece, but when we saw it, we thought this devil and we destroyed the balloon completely and we killed the animals, took them for lunch or something. So they were happy that they have to carry on with the project. They went back to their father. They said, we want to make a bigger balloon for human beings. Their father said, no, the rumor has already gone to the king. So before you go any further, you have to have a permission from him. They decided to write a letter to the king. It was King Louis XVI. They also made a small balloon. They took it to the palace, trying to demonstrate of how it works so that they can have a permission. Finally, the king loved it. He said, okay, you have to do this under a few conditions. First of all, I'm the one who will organize the date and call a lot of people to come and watch what is happening. It has to happen outside the palace. If it's successful in the future, you will have to make an extra balloon for me to keep it in a palace for weekend or Christmas or special days. They agree, they signed the contract. 21st November 1783, that's when they did the first flight outside the palace. However, when everything was ready to go, there was no pilot. Nobody wanted to take a chance to be the first pilot, including the brothers. So the king was surprised and he asked them why. They said, because of what happened to the animals, we promised our father we make a balloon and we won't fly in it. So yeah, find something else you can do to make it happen. He said, fine, I can understand. He announced to the crowd, whoever wants to volunteer and take the flight, nobody can afford. He finally had no choice but setting up the price for whoever wants to take the flight. The person who decided to fly, his name was Pilatre de Rosier. They call him in short Pilot, which means pilot in French. There is where the name pilot connected, yeah. So he was also not comfortable to go by himself, but he kind of remembered the scientist by the name of Marquis de Lange. He was dying to be on the air one day, so he suggested to the king that they can go together, and the king agreed. So they both jumped on board, they cut the rope, off they went, they landed in the countryside after 23 minutes. But it was kind of a crash landing because remember they had no control to bring the balloon low level before touching down. So from up high, they decided to extinguish the fire and let the balloon come down. So as it touches to the ground, it's splitting the fire, it's setting everything on fire. It goes up again, it does the same thing everywhere. The local people were really upset. They come running, trying to attack the balloon. Even the pilots were out of the basket when they did the first touch. So when they came trying to attack the balloon, they realized that, okay, why don't we go for the pilots when we saw them coming? We can kill the pilot and leave the balloon alone. So they turned to the pilot. They had to save their life. They went to the king. They told him of the story that flying is beautiful, landing is something we need to improve, but we nearly get killed by the local people. So you have to find a way of how we can introduce ourselves and link with them and have fun. That's when the champagne is involved, because in the early days you can only have champagne from French, especially from the king. So he decided to make a special label with the French flag and his signature in it to give it to the pilot to fly with. And upon the landing, because they have to protect it because of the hard landings, when they see people running trying to attack them, they can open it up and show the label that stop, we are friends, the king knows about the flight and we will share this with you. So they start celebrating. Ever since, that's why we're keeping the tradition of going myself. Yeah. So yeah, that's the whole story, guys. Now you know, and there's no excuse, you have to drink. All right? Okay, so once you have champagne or juice, if you are mixing, whatever, don't drink yet, then we'll teach you how to say cheers in Swahili. All right? Okay, welcome to the club. Also, some mango, you can mix it.
Okay. Would you help the rest of us?
Well, I've got to film you falling.
Yeah, help.
Oh,
Yeah, use the window there.
there you go. That's it. The other one's down there.
Okay.
Oh,
Well done.
Would you like a hand?
No.
It's gonna work today. Okay, where's the other one so that I can double it?
Talented.
You want me to put it upside down?
Yes, yes, go for it.
That's not working. There you are. That's it.
Ah,
Very
Huh? He's sweating. One, two, three.
Aisha, Karen.
Asante, Chichi.
Yes.
Cheers, I loved your story.
Yeah, karibu. Yes, guys. Long life together.
Yes.
You like it?
Nice. Well, this is exciting, isn't it?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning? I have to tell you. We are the people who will be starting with this morning. My name is Raphael. We have Mr. Natoro. Bonjour. We have Mr. Chacha. Jambo, jambo. Our representative, Mr. Dennis. Good morning. Right here we have Mr. Leonardo. Jambo. Down there we have Mr. Jambo. We also accompanied with our professional chef, Mr. Chacha and Mr. Said. For those who like to have full English breakfast, raise your hands up. Okay, Chad, please.
as we tuck into our English breakfast, well, I'd better apologise for the lack of animals in this one. For some reason, the Great Migration had taken a different turn that day. Anyway, there's another one to come along, another video coming, so join us and don't forget to subscribe.